These are the 21 books that I want to read during the month of October. I'm trying to hold all these up, but this is actually really hard. I am adding 21 books to my TBR for the month because I really feel like I'm going to read more in this coming month than in the past. And you're probably wondering why I'm in a new spot. If you guys are new here, you have no idea, but if you've been here for a while, I don't normally do my videos down here, but now that I've added this bookshelf into our home, I just want to like film in front of it all the time. Like literally, I'm down here all the time. I also recently did a video over on Instagram where I shared another little update where I moved my TBR to a different spot. Please go watch that video and let me know where I should move my TBR, because I kind of ended the video in limbo, but I did make some changes that I feel like you guys will like. There will be another video coming soon, not with the stuff that was on Instagram. It's going to be like a whole different thing because I'm going to try to get a new chair. And then I also want to do like a big unhaul with some books that are on my shelf. So I'm going to go through these books, but a lot of these books are from last month's TBR, and then there's also some, of course, that are new ones. You guys know that I usually read between like 13 to 20 books a month. It just really depends on my mood. And I feel like as it gets colder, I always read a lot more, especially because I don't travel nearly as much. Whenever I'm traveling, I feel like I'm the opposite of most people. I actually read a little bit less. And when I'm at home, I just like read so much because I don't really like watch a ton of TV and stuff. So let's get into this. The first book I'm really excited to read is this one. It's called The Wilderness. I actually talked about this book on Instagram and on TikTok because I went to the bookstore specifically for this book. It's by a Black author, and it talks about 4 different friends, and you see them go through like all the things in life, like breakups and new jobs. They go through postpartum and having children and just literally everything. And I think it spans over 10 years. I don't feel like there are nearly enough books about friendship, but whenever I got this book, I talked in my last vlog about how excited I was to read this because I feel like as I get older, friends to me are just so valuable. They're so important. They are truly can feel like family, and I want to read more books that kind of, I don't know, show that in the storyline. So really excited to read this one. It's a new release, so it's definitely going to be high up on my TBR. Another book I'm really excited to read is this one. It's called If It Makes You Happy by Julie Olivia. This is this author's debut book, and I'm not kidding. This book literally sold out. Like, it was sold out everywhere. I checked Pango Books. I checked bookshop.com or whatever it's called. I checked Serendipity Books. I checked the Novel Neighbor bookstore. I checked literally all of my favorite bookstores where this could potentially be sold, and it was sold out. I ended up buying this off of Amazon, but it literally was like pushed back even on Amazon, where it was like older, or like not older, but like it would take a while to get to me. I finally have it in my hands, but I do want to read it in October, and I have actually all of my fall reads in this video because I kind of feel like after October's over, I don't think I'm going to be wanting to read fall books as much. I feel like when November comes, I'm excited for Christmas, so I'm like getting Christmas reads, getting in the spirit. I put my Christmas tree up really early last year, and I might do that again this year, just depending on how I feel. So I don't know, I just kind of want to read the fall reads just in case I get like over fall books. This book is a book that's set in 1997 in a small town in Vermont, and I'm most excited for this because it's supposed to be a slow burn, and it looks like there's a lot of dialogue in this as well. It's supposed to give like the vibe of like when no one had cell phones and you just like had to date, and it was like, you know, someone picks you up at the front door. Like, I don't know, I was born in 1992, so obviously I only got like a portion of that because cell phones came out and became pretty popular whenever I was in high school. I wouldn't say they came out, but like I got one whenever I was in high school, and like people started texting and stuff, and so you got a little bit of that, but not nearly as much as I feel like some people did. So really excited to read this one. And then another book that is on my TBR is The Bright Years. This was actually on my TBR for last month, and I never got to it. This is a book that tells a story of a mom, a dad, and a child, and the mom and dad, they seem to be keeping secrets from each other, and then the child is kind of like put in the middle between it all. I've heard nothing but great things about this book, and I've been in a contemporary fiction like era where that's like really all I want to read, so I have been picking up more books like that, and I feel like those are the books I've been rating really highly as well. But you know, love reading contemporary fiction, but I do have to add in some just like spicy romances, some urban romances, some books that are gonna keep me on the edge of my seat. Like, I cannot go without reading books like that in my like month. So I wanna read this book. It's by Natasha Rayner and it's called Carried Away. I've never read anything by this author, but I've heard great things about her writing. It's a shorter read, so it doesn't look like it's gonna be something that will take me a long time to read, but her catalog is huge. Like, literally all these books right here, all these books right here, all these books right here, and those books. She's written so many books, and that to me just shows that this author is, like, she probably knows what she's doing. You know, it's like, not that you can't be a good author if you haven't like written a lot of books, but I do think over time authors get better the more that they write. So this one looks like it's gonna be a really good one. There's a lot on the back and I don't even know if I could condense it because there's so much that happens, but I feel like it's gonna be a book that is gonna have like one thing after another that's gonna keep me just like hooked the whole time, and that's exactly what I need in fall. Another book I'm excited to read is The Illusion of Power by J.L. Seegers. I loved Revive Me by J.L. Seegers. That series is so good. I've read Restore Me, which is the first book in the series. I've read Revive Me part 1 and 2, and I have to read part 3, and I thought about actually putting that on my TBR for this month, but I decided to put this one instead because it's her newest release, and I already am like hooked in that other series, so I know I'll eventually come back to it, but I could easily just like not want to pick this one up. And even though I know that I love her writing, I have just been intrigued to read this one because Amber Burns read this in her last vlog, which got me excited to pick it up. And I'm the type of person where like, if I don't read a book when I'm excited about it, who knows when that feeling is gonna come again? You know, like it could take a while. So this is a book about a girl who I'm pretty sure she's in a marriage to this guy, and he doesn't really seem to be like the best guy, and he's like running for president. I think she ends up being the first lady, and with that she has to have bodyguards, and she ends up getting two bodyguards that are with her at all times. And this is a book that will be a new vibe for me because I've never read a Why Choose, and I've never read something where there are like more partners than one in one book, unless it's like a love triangle. So this will be interesting, but I'm excited because her books are always really good. And then another book I'm gonna read, which is going back to the contemporary fiction side, is The End of Loneliness. I don't really know too much what this is about, but this says that it's about love and loss and of the lives we never get to live. It says a kaleidoscope family saga told through the fractured lives of the 3 siblings alongside a faltering, recovering love story. The End of Loneliness is a stunning meditation on the power of our memories, of what can be lost and what can never be let go. So that just looks really good. The main character, it says that their childhood is shattered after the sudden death of their parents, and I think that they end up having to like figure things out alone as just like siblings and not with their parents. I don't know, I love this. I feel like this, if I like it, this is gonna be a book I recommend to my niece because she loves the trope where like siblings have to gather together and like figure it out and like their parents are gone. And so I hope that I enjoy this one. I haven't really heard a ton about it, but I will say the things I have heard about it have been great. And I also saw this on someone's post. I don't remember who posted it, but it was like one of those where it's like, these are like life-changing books that I absolutely loved, and a lot of the other books on the little carousel I'd already read, and they shared this one and I hadn't read this one, so I was like, okay, I have to pick it up. And then I, of course, have to add in a thriller because we're getting into spooky season. So I added The Cage Girl, and this is the second book. The first book is called The Favorite Girl, and I know that this is going to be unhinged because the first book was unhinged. And if you like The Housemaid by Frida McFadden, I feel like you'd like The Favorite Girl. And if you like Frida McFadden's writing, you will like Monica Array's writing. It's very fast paced. Like, you can see on the inside that like the words are really big. They're kind of written like Frida McFadden's books, like lots of dialogue, very quick and fast, lots of unhinged stuff that happens. I can't say really anything about this book because it's the second book, but just know that I'm someone who has a hard time rating thrillers highly because the characters in thrillers you can't really trust, you know, and that's like a big part of why I end up liking a book is because I trust the characters and love the characters, but like you can't really love a character when they're in a thriller. And I rated The Favorite Girl very highly, so I feel like I will rate this very highly as well. I recently picked up this book, Loved One. It's a story of grief. It's a story that I've heard nothing but good things about, great things about. It's a new release and it's this author's debut. And it says it's a heartbreaking story of a woman journeying in the unknown in the wake of sudden loss. I think she loses her best friend? I don't know. Actually, I don't know. I'm literally making that up because I'm reading the first sentence and it says, when her first love turned close friend Gabe dies. Okay, so she does end up losing her close friend, but it's like her first love and they die unexpectedly at 29. That alone, that's the first sentence. That alone is like, oh my God, am I ready to read this book? But this is written by a Black author. It's her debut. And again, I've heard so many people say that this book is incredible. And it's a contemporary fiction. There are tons of quotes on the back written by great authors, and I feel like it's just gonna be one that I will love. It says that this is poised to be an instant classic. It's an emotional mystery spanning years, continents, and relationship statuses. Loved Ones introduces this author as a novelist intimately attuned to the intricacies of love, memory, and ambiguous loss. What happens when we admit that the deepest feelings never die? How do we reconcile various and sometimes contradictory truths about those closest to us? An engrossing and powerfully moving coming-of-age story with a powerful love at its heart. I love a book that's gonna be or feel like an instant classic. Those are the books that I feel like I come back to again and again that I rate very highly, so I think I will do the same with this one. And after that, I know I'm gonna want something that's like easy, just like an easy palate cleanser, easy read. The Pumpkin Spice Latte Cafe. I keep calling it the Pumpkin Spice Latte. It's literally not that. The names are just so long, like the gingerbread, you know, like every vlog, I feel like I call this book a different name. We're finally gonna read it so I can start calling it the right name. I'm really excited for this one. I've heard not the best things about it. I've heard it's just like one of those, it's like, it's okay. And that's what I'm expecting from it. I'm not expecting it to be groundbreaking, and honestly, I don't expect any fall books to be groundbreaking. I expect them to be cozy. I expect them to like make me smile in the same way that I like watch a Hallmark movie and it's like I know exactly what's gonna happen and I haven't even finished the Hallmark movie yet. You know what I mean? Like when I turn it on, somebody's gonna go to a pumpkin festival, somebody's probably gonna have to save the farm, somebody's coming from the city to help the small town girl or guy, like someone's gonna have a bake-off. Like I know what's gonna happen and that's exactly what I want. I feel like whenever I'm stressed, I need books like this to just make me like unclench my shoulders and relax, and so this is hopefully gonna do that. I will say it is supposed to be pretty spicy, so I am a bit worried about that because I feel like sometimes that takes away the Hallmark vibe, but we will see. And then a book that was on my TBR last month and I think the month before that is August Lane. Guys, I keep putting off this book because I've heard nothing but great things about it, and genuinely I think it's gonna be a 5-star read for me, but I am so scared to read it because my expectations are so high. So I keep thinking like if I push it off, maybe my expectations will be lower and maybe I'll see like a bad review or something. No, everybody's loving it. Everyone's loving it. And even if I saw a bad review, it's like, okay, that doesn't negate all the millions of people who've been obsessed with this book. It's about a guy who writes, well, he's a country artist, and this is written by a Black author, and he, as a country music artist, I'm pretty sure like stole this song or like made this song that someone else had already written and he took it as his own, which I guess is literally stealing. And the person he took it from was like his old love. And so it says that a Black country music star who lied about writing his only hit risks his comeback to reunite with the woman he stole it from. A first love the lyrics won't let him forget. I love books that are like first love, second chance. I don't know, it just gets me every time. And I really liked The Art of Scandal. I do think some people weren't obsessed with that book. I loved it. I think the writing style was beautiful. I think it was exactly what I expected, which I think is a big part of why I love or don't love books. And this is a contemporary fiction that has so many great quotes on the back from Christina Lauren, from Nikki Payne, who wrote Sex, Lies, and Sensibility, from Tara Shelton Harris, who wrote One Summer in Savannah. There's so many authors. Christina Forrest. And it's just making me want to read it because all the things on the back are just like giving glowing reviews. I also want to read She Didn't See It Coming, which is also on my TBR this month. I didn't get to it. I don't know what I did this month. I swear I just blacked out and just like read whatever I wanted, which is fine, obviously. I will say I was really contemplating, like, do I want to make a TBR this month? Do I want to make a video with books on my TBR this month? Because last month was way, like, I was just reading whatever. Like I don't even think I looked at my TBR like more than a couple times. Like I was just looking and grabbing and like reading whatever in the moment, and it worked really well, and I feel like I read a lot more books. So part of me is like, should I keep a TBR? But then it's like, yes, I should. I just need to remind myself a TBR is like, it's there for you to pick from, but like you don't have to stick to it ever, and I never do. So like, why do I put pressure on myself to read what's on my TBR? And maybe part of it is because I know you guys are excited for me to read those books, and sometimes I do, but then like a lot of the time I don't, or I'll read like half and half. Like I might read 10 books, you know, for my TBR, and then 5 books that aren't, or vice versa. So I just need to remind myself, like, I can read whatever I want at any time. I don't have to stick to anything. And these videos are just for fun, and they're also nice so you guys can have an idea, like, what's on my mind. I also feel like it's a great way for you guys to see what's on my radar and what I'm most excited to read in that moment. Because again, 2 weeks from now, maybe I won't feel the same, but like as of right now, these are the ones I'm most excited to read. This is by an author that I am obsessed with. I've read so many of their thrillers, and I never get tired of their writing, so I feel like I definitely will not in this book. And on the back, there are tons of authors who said that this book is great. Karen Slaughter said, I absolutely raced through it, a pacey and hugely satisfying thriller, highly recommended. Lucy Foley gave a great review. And also, if you like Freida McFadden's thrillers, this is a great author to pick up because this author's books are super fast-paced. Like you'll finish them probably in a day. I usually do, and they're usually a suburban like thriller, so you can almost place yourself in the spot of the character because they're just like regular people versus like, you know, someone getting like kidnapped. Not that you like wouldn't get kidnapped, you know, like God forbid, but at least like in just a city or a town or whatever, it's more relatable because they're people who just like go to work, they're going to school, they're not doing anything wild, and then like the thriller thing happens. So excited for this one. I also really want to read Lonely Crowds. This is by a Black author as well, and it's her debut novel. I don't know too much what this is about, but it says it's a riveting debut novel. 2 outsiders forge a volatile friendship and enter glamorous early 90s art world in New York City where only one of them can make it. It says Ruth and Maria's decades-long friendship interrogates the nature of intimacy, desire, class, and time. What does it mean to be an artist and to be true to oneself? What does it mean to give up on an obsession? Marking the arrival of a sensational new literary talent, Lonely Crowds challenges us to reckon honestly with our ambitions and the lives we hope to lead. And I don't know too much about this book, but again, it's a debut book, and I feel like these are the types of books that I gravitate towards, like the moody, like the, you know, like you get the vibe of the cover. She's literally smoking a cigarette. It's like giving fall. So excited for this one. Another book that I really want to read is Heartbeats, which was on my TBR last month and the month before, but I really want to get to it. And on the back it says she lost her heart the day her father died. He just might be the one to help her find it again. It's a romance that's about love, loss, and grief, and the undeniable beauty of human connection. This book has so few reviews on it, which makes me excited to read it. I don't care. I feel like I saw this TikTok not too long ago, and the TikTok was basically like, you guys know you can read books that are not put on TikTok, right? Like you can read books that are like by small authors, you can read books written by your friends, you can read books in the library, like you can read whatever you want. And I feel like I needed that reminder because sometimes I will only stick to books that people have talked about and talked highly about, and I need the reminder that like you can pick up whatever you want whenever you want, and this is that reminder. So I'm really excited to read this, and I hope you guys do too. And then another book that I want to read is The Wrong Kind of Falling. This is a fall romance that's like Christian inspired, and by inspired I say there's like a few scriptures in here, but I don't think like that's the whole premise of the book. It's just like her faith is a small part of the book, but I like that because I feel like you don't see that very often. It's the second book in the series, but you don't have to read it in order like that. You can read whichever one you want first. And I know the main guy character in this, he does MMA, and I think that that's cool because he's kind of like a bad boy and she's a good girl, and it's literally giving Hallmark. So excited to read this one as well. And then I really want to read Finding Grace. I have talked about this in the last two videos that I wanted to like pick up a book, and I don't know, I think in the last few TBRs I've added this in there and haven't read it because I have so many hardback books and so many thick books. So a lot of the time I'll read like a heavy contemporary fiction and then I have to read like a cutesy read. And I have a lot of contemporary fictions that are in this stack, and so sometimes it gets heavy if I read them back to back, so I try to like take a break in between, and then sometimes I don't end up getting to the book. But this one looks really good. It says blending a page-turning moral dilemma with a sweeping love story, Finding Grace explores the price of secrets and asks whether it's ever too late to tell the truth. I feel like this is gonna be great. I've heard nothing but great things about this one as well, and I actually picked this one up when I was in London, and it like just really intrigued me by what the story was about. It says that the main character, Honor, their life is nearly perfect, and she adores her bright and beautiful daughter Chloe and her handsome, charming husband Tom. And it says, yet Honor's longing for another baby threatens to eclipse all that is wonderful until a shocking event changes everything. And it says, years later, Tom makes a decision that ripples through their family's life in ways he could never have predicted. And it just talks about the consequence of that choice. I don't know what that thing is. I feel like I have some like idea, but then maybe it's like that idea is too cliche or predictable, so like maybe I'm way off. I'm just excited to see what happens. Honestly, I love a book that feels like it has some mess in it, so that's why I'm picking that one up. I also want to read Francine's Spectacular Crash and Burn. I've heard nothing but great things about this one as well, and it's a contemporary fiction. It says a chance encounter with a 10-year-old who shows up on Francine Stevenson's doorstep spirals into an adventure for the ages. It's supposed to be like kind of like comedic, but also like has deeper themes to it as well. I just love contemporary fictions that are like fun and funny. Skyfalling by Mia McKenzie gave that vibe, and so I feel like this one is gonna kind of give that same vibe to the whole story. And this I think is their debut, maybe. I feel like it is. And I have a few more books, not too many. I want to read People Watching by Hannah Bonham Young. I've read 2 books by this author, Next of Kin, which I really loved, and then I read Out on a Limb, which I just thought was okay. I wasn't my favorite, and so this will be like the tiebreaker to help me decide which book I like better, or if I do like this author's writing. It says a small town woman's journey to spread her wings intertwines with the arrival of an adventurous newcomer who brings out the best in her. And this is a book that I picked up this month, and I'm going to read this month because it's a fall read. I also picked up this book. It's called All Mine by Carly N.E.K. And this says that it's a steamy, emotional, urban nanny romance full of second chances, forbidden feelings, and the kind of love that makes you break every rule. I'm gonna eat it up. I'm gonna eat it up because every nanny romance I've read, I don't know what it is, I love it. Like, it's like they put something in those books that make me come back for more, and I just like eat it up every single time. And I haven't heard anything about this author. I don't even know how I found this book. I feel like a lot of like where I find books that I don't see a lot of people talking about is usually on TikTok. Like one person will be like, oh my god, I was so obsessed with this book, and I'll go and I'll be like, oh, there's not that many reviews, I'm gonna read it. I don't know how many reviews are on this book, I'm just using that as an example, but this one looks like a really good one to read. I also got Blood Moon as an ARC, and I haven't read it yet, but I want to read it. I've seen a lot of great reviews about this as well, and as someone who does not read fantasy, this is a young adult fantasy that's supposed to give Twilight. There's like vampires and werewolves and all the things in it, and it's supposed to be very reminiscent of Twilight and that type of vibe. And some people love that and some people might not, I don't know, but for me I feel like I'm gonna love it because Twilight is probably the first fantasy I ever read and was obsessed with, and like just I couldn't get enough of it. It didn't even feel like a fantasy because it was like set in the real world, which this book is too. And for me, because it's a young adult romance, or not romance, but a young adult fantasy, I feel like I'm gonna like it because it's gonna be really easy for me to get into. Sometimes fantasies are very daunting for me because I don't read fantasy often, so I feel like the world building can be a lot. And this doesn't feel like it's gonna be like that at all because it is literally set in like now time. Like they're like in college or high school or whatever. So I'm assuming high school, I guess, because it's young adult. But this one is definitely gonna be top of the list, and I've never been more excited for a fantasy than I am for this one. I think it's just because I love Twilight. Like I had Twilight t-shirts, I went to the premieres, I had posters on my wall. I was Team Edward. I love Jacob, but my sister was Team Jacob, and you know how it is when you have a sister that's like similar in age. Like if they pick something, they're like, oh yeah, that's mine, then it's like, that's theirs. You know, like you can't, that's theirs. Like you gotta pick. And I don't know if you guys were like this as a kid, but like we would watch something on TV and it's like, oh, I'm so-and-so, like I'm Bella, or I'm what, and it's like, once they say I'm that person, you can't be that person anymore. Like even though we could both be like, I'm Bella too. She could be like, I'm Bella, and I could right after be like, oh, I'm Bella as well. Like we're both gonna be Bella. Like we're her character. It didn't work like that, and so I feel like that was part of the reason why I was Team Edward, but also I loved how Edward was so like protective and stuff. So excited for this, and I think that this one also has a love triangle in it as well. And then I want to read Fall I Want, which is supposed to be a spicy romance that has a billionaire in it, and it says that you should grab a pumpkin spice latte, a warm fuzzy blanket, and make your way down to Cozy Creek. It's a romantic comedy. What more do you need? What more do you need? I don't need anything else, honestly. This is exactly what I need for fall. And the last book I'm excited to read is Selfish. This is supposed to be an emotional, gritty tale of hood love, heartbreak, and coming of age in the streets. I don't know if this is actually a romance or if it's just like a book of trusting yourself and figuring it out on your own. It doesn't really talk too much about like the romance on the back, if there is one. It mostly talks about how she lost her father and she was sold out by her own mother, so she had to learn fast that love is dangerous and feelings can get you killed. I'm guessing there's a romance in this because it talks about like feelings and love and stuff, and maybe she's the type who like keeps people at arm's length, you know? I don't know. I'm excited for this, and I literally saw one person talk about it and I was like, yep, adding to cart. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. There were 21 books in this little like video, so we'll see how many I end up reading, but I do think that I'll read a lot because I've read a lot of books this month, and of course a wrap-up will be coming soon whenever I finish the books at the end of the month. So comment below the book that you would want to read the most, and also comment the book that is on your TBR for next month, or the book you're most excited to read in the next week or so. And happy fall. I can't believe we are past the first day of fall. It was literally yesterday. So yeah, I hope you guys really, or yesterday when you guys are watching this. So I hope you guys are enjoying fall, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye guys.